morning. You're listening to WAPN 91.5 FM and WAPB 91.7 FM. My favorite thing is to talk about what's going on in our community. And I have two ladies here that we're going to discuss something that's coming up this Saturday. So can you introduce yourself and where you're from, please?
Hi, I'm Diana Etter, and I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida.
Hi, I'm Ashley Grindle. AJ is my nickname, and I'm from DeBary, Florida.
And are you with a certain business here in town or something that's getting ready to happen this weekend? How do you associate with what's happening this weekend?
So we are actually officers of the Daytona State College ASL Club.
And what is ASL in English? Because I know, but maybe there's a listener that's going, okay, what is that?
It stands for American Sign Language.
And why is that something that you wanted to be a part of?
Well,
do you have a backstory or something on it?
Yeah, so for me, I actually am a psychology major at school. I've always known that I've wanted to do something to help people. I've wanted to interact with people when I work. And I started taking American Sign Language classes as a foreign language. And the more I interacted with their culture and as I learned the language, I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I totally fell in love with it.
It's a love language in a lot of ways, isn't it? It really is neat. Like at church when they do it and they're doing worship, oh my goodness, it is so amazing, the worship. You know what I'm saying? How they move their hands and they get it. So I just love it, period. But that's one of the things I think is neat when the music becomes life for them also. Now, it's considered a foreign language in school?
Some schools,
okay,
yeah.
I never knew that. That is really, really cool. I like that.
They're making improvements.
Yeah.
More
so
and more
how long have you been doing it then?
I have been signing I've always known about a year
Somebody's
and a half.
got her volume on over there.
In a lot of ways, isn't it?
She's too cute. Okay, so how long have you been doing it?
I've been signing for about a year and a half.
Okay, and so how long did it take you to get where you could do words and stuff? I know the alphabet and a couple words, but I'm not good. I can't carry on like a whole and I always explain that if I meet somebody, I always go like, I don't know anything except a couple things, but hey, it's a start, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've taken levels 1 through 4
at
Daytona State. So I'm
pretty fluent.
Well, I would love to say that, but they actually tell you that in order to be fluent in a language, you have to study it for 10,000 hours.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So I'm like way off. That is, I never knew that.
Yeah, I've taken level 1 and 2, and I'm still considered a kindergartner.
Really?
So, yeah.
So I'm not even preschool.
Yeah.
Man, I was so proud of myself until I talked to you guys.
Yeah.
So now what made you get into it?
Well, I'm a hairdresser, and I work with the homeless. And unfortunately, there are a lot of deaf homeless people in the area. And I was unable to communicate with them of what they wanted and how they wanted it.
Right, they wanted their hair short, and you didn't do it, or vice versa. You took 10 inches off, and they're going, what?
Right. So there is actually an interpreter that works with us. We work through the church, and I asked her if she could just show me some simple things just so that I was able to communicate with them. And she said, well, why don't you go back to school and learn it? And I said, because I'm 45. Like, I can't go back to school now. And she's like, of course you can. So I just happened to be signing my son up for college and looked and saw that there were classes and signed myself up, and that was a year ago. And I happened to fall in love with the language. It's just so beautiful.
It is. Like I said, when they worship and stuff,
it's amazing.
I can't even pay attention to anything else around me because I just think it is so cool.
Right. And I fell in love with the culture. The culture it's sad but beautiful. And so now I'm just continuing on, and it's amazing.
Do you seem to use it a lot now? I mean, have you seen in yourself that you've met more people, or you just feel like that crutch is better for you? How has it became part of your everyday life now?
My husband and I just actually got me a T-shirt that said, warning, I'm likely to spontaneously bust out in sign language while I talk. Because you end up using it all the time. And AJ and I have both had instances where we've just in our everyday lives met people who were deaf or hard of hearing, that we've had to use it, and we were so thankful that we had the gift of knowing the language.
Yeah.
So we end up using it a lot. And, our professors, they're deaf. And
Oh, so they are. I was always wondering that.
yeah, it's total immersion. When you go to school, you're in there.
Wow.
Voice off in the classroom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do they lips? A lot of deaf people will read your lips.
Yeah, no, that's a big
Misconception.
misconception.
Is it
within-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some deaf people can read lips, but it is very, very hard, and so
So
you
when
can't
we're
expect
standing
them
there
to-
stupidly doing it, thinking that they're reading our lips, they're
Right.
probably thinking, what is that person doing?
Right.
So
right.
we all need to know a little bit, don't we?
Yes, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really would. And what would you say is the little? Like me, I feel like because I know the alphabet, I'm pretty darn cool. It takes me an hour to get a sentence out, but but I'm saying, what I'm
Think
saying?
about what you would need to communicate if you were in a foreign country on a daily
Great
basis.
analogy.
Right. So if you were in Italy and you didn't know Italian, what would you need to know?
Hi,
You would
how
need-
are you? Where's the bathroom? How much does it cost? How do I get to the train station?
And-
Simple little things like
and
that.
if everybody knew that, if the servers at a restaurant knew how to take an order and be receptive to ASL and know how to, they could order a steak, or at a gas station they could pay for their gas, or even the basics of everyday life. Where is the bathroom? If we knew that and we knew how to respond to them.
Okay, so
yeah.
can you, since we're on Facebook Live, could you sign where is the bathroom?
It's simple. Bathroom. It's
That's it?
Well, bathroom and then
like,
where?
yeah.
What
like
is
where? Where?
Okay, so you go like this, and then you just go,
Yeah, bathroom back and forth. So your thumb.
How great is that?
And where?
And how do you do how are you?
How
Uh-huh.
are you?
So it's really not that hard.
No. It's actually
Well,
the basics.
No.
The basics
I
are
mean,
very
but I
easy.
mean the way that you could help somebody is what
Right.
I'm saying.
Right.
It's not like scary. Now, I took Spanish for years, and I probably can't speak a whole sentence.
Right.
Where this seems easier to me, and I don't know if it seems easier to me because I'm excited about it and want to be, because it seems more something that I can help somebody with better
Right.
than Spanish, where there's different slangs and all that stuff, and I would be more confused. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
ASL definitely has its own syntax and grammar. So it is different. It's not English. It is a foreign language. It's much like Spanish and all the other foreign languages.
Right.
But if you were just trying to get by, if you were learning just enough to get by to be able to communicate with a deaf or hard of hearing individual, those things would be pretty easy to teach for the everyday.
See, I think we should be teaching it in our elementary schools.
I agree
Oh, absolutely.
completely.
I think that should be, instead of the little clarinet thing, and I'm not cutting down music because I love music,
Right.
but I'm saying, why can't we offer that? I learned from being at church.
Right.
Right.
Back at Merritt Island First Baptist Church, that was one of the things they taught us when I was young, is
Right.
that was a course you could take, and I thought that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. God had different plans, but I will never forget that because I could communicate very easily with somebody else,
Right.
that had a disability.
Right.
And I think that is very important to be able to communicate with somebody with a disability.
Right.
Now,
Right.
can you only go to college and learn around here, or do we have resources in our area?
So high schools now are also starting to offer
Are they?
sign language classes.
Right.
Some, not all.
Do we have
but
any here in
some.
the area that do that?
Seabreeze.
Seabreeze?
Seabreeze High School.
You go Seabreeze.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
And what
Yep.
made them decide that? Do you know?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know why
'Cause
they did. I'm just happy that they did.
Oh, so am I.
And
I'm
we-
excited
And I've
about
actually
that.
been in class with students. Both of us have been in class with students who have gone to Seabreeze previously and then transferred into college.
Uh-huh.
And it's amazing. It's just so, they've done 4 years there, and they come in and they're still learning something at a
Right.
college level, of course, but actually one of our professors actually taught at Seabreeze before she was one of our professors.
That
So,
just
yeah.
made my day to know
Yeah.
that you could start in high school. I
Oh,
mean, I think
yeah.
it should go elementary, but hey, we're happy for
I
high
agree.
school.
And any child who has any issue with communication, I have a friend who, Jeff's wife actually teaches with the children who have issues in school, and taught her just the little things like candy, because that's a really good motivator
I was going
for
to say,
children.
I like that one. Is it chocolate or what is it?
Chocolate is.
Okay. I'm going to go to my granddaughter's.
So chocolate candy.
And if you can figure what out this is, we
Right.
get it.
Right, exactly. But it's made it easier to communicate.
Right, because it's not only a death thing.
No. Oh,
I
no,
mean,
no,
like,
no.
I love it that you were saying that you helped your grandchildren that way.
Oh, my granddaughter knows at least 50 words, and we don't have to wonder. She's only 1.5.
Now, why did you decide to do that?
Well, I was in ASL, and it was just so simple.
It just fit.
She was probably 6 months, 7 months old, and she could tell me she wanted milk, or she could tell,
But I mean, like, how did you get that started? How did you get that conversation going with a 6-month-old? You know what I'm saying? What made you?
You show the item, you show the sign, and they instantly pick up. Children are so receptive; they
Why
pick
aren't
up
we
so
doing
easily.
that?
I don't know, but we should be.
I think part of it is there is a misconception that a lot of people in society still believe that if they start teaching their babies how to sign, that it's going to hinder them when they acquire language, like spoken language later. And that's actually so far from the truth.
I was going to say, to me, that would be so opposite because they'll actually make it to that age.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Because when they're little, you're frustrated, you haven't had any sleep, they're tired, you're tired, everybody's grumpy. And if you had a couple little signs, I just think that would be like, oh, hallelujah, because they're not going to verbally be able to say it.
Because, children don't acquire language until in their 2s.
Right.
So it takes a lot more effort to use your voice box compared to signing, because babies are able to communicate before they can voice.
Right. So I just don't get why people wouldn't be doing that, because that is one of the most frustrating things, I think, as a parent, as a grandmother, is you're driving or whatever and they're just mad and you're just like trying to toss everything in the back seat, and we're not getting anywhere. Right. If they could just give you some kind of sign, wouldn't that just be amazing?
It is amazing, actually. It's very amazing. We just had an instance with our granddaughter, and she was hot. She kept saying, I'm hot. And then she was saying, oos, 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 oos. She wanted juice because she was hot.
Right.
But she couldn't. She was just doing the signs, and we knew exactly what she was saying without her saying a word. So, I mean, imagine a child who didn't have sign language. I'm so proud of
you that you do that. I am.
It's amazing. Well, I love sign language. So.
But I mean, that you took the incentive to do that with your grandchild.
Right.
That is amazing.
And my son and my daughter-in-law, they
I bet they love you even more because that you can communicate some with this little person.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty awesome.
So what are y'all doing right now that's coming up this weekend?
So we are hosting a deaf event.
What does that mean, a deaf event?
So with our club, we host deaf events every once in a while, and they are gatherings for people in the deaf community to come out and meet with students at our school. So it helps students to interact with them and learn more sign language and really, be immersed in it.
So your club is putting this event on for anybody in the area?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter age, denomination, race, anything. It's just free, right?
It's
absolutely
a free event.
It is open for everyone. You do not have to know sign language in order to come. You can still enjoy it regardless. So it's going to be a show, a performance. We have invited JJ, James Jones, to come. He is a well-known deaf mime from Missouri. He performs all over the United States. He's performed in Europe before. And so he will be flying out here to perform for us, a combination of mime and ASL stories. And then our club is going to be putting on a few little performances as well.
Right.
And what is all, now you're raising money, right, at this place?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you raising money if it's free?
The event itself is free. We will be selling concessions before the event, and we will also be hosting a drawing after the event. So you can purchasing the concessions helps, and then the purchasing of drawing tickets if you choose to participate.
So is it a silent auction or what is it? Okay, so I love silent auctions. They're so exciting.
We have some amazing
Well, you're
prizes.
a nonprofit that you're helping out, so we can talk about anything since you're a nonprofit. So what kind of silent auction stuff is there? Who doesn't love a good silent auction?
Absolutely. We have we've gone throughout the community and we've gotten donations from different businesses, and we have an amazing computer that we're auctioning off, a gaming computer. It's pretty awesome. We have a sewing machine from a local business here who sells sewing machines and gives lessons. So she's,
Is that Sewing Garrett?
Yes, it is.
Gracie?
Gracie Beavis.
We love me some Gracie.
I love me some Gracie. She's my second mother. So
well, my mom used to sew with her. My mom's in heaven now, but she taught my mom how to quilt. And
Really?
So, yes, actually, I have the last sewing machine that she bought was from Gracie. I do not know how to sew.
Right.
And so it's been in an air-conditioned storage, and I made the big decision this weekend. I'm going to actually think I'm going to call Gracie up and say, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, well, she's listening. So.
I know. So,
So
okay,
she
Gracie,
knows
now I'm really scared. But no, she's an amazing lady. Her heart's huge. So that's exciting, a sewing machine.
Yes, she's
okay.
the best person I know.
Okay.
So she donated a beautiful sewing machine and lessons and a sewing kit, a starter kit. She's the best.
I think I need to come do that then, because since it's a starter kit, because my mom was advanced. I'll see you Saturday.
And we have some other really cool.
Yeah, we have a couple of hour-long massages from Massage Envy.
Oh my goodness, another great thing. Because after I try to learn how to sew, I'll need a massage.
Absolutely. They go hand in hand. We have 2 tickets to a University of Florida men's basketball game in December.
Awesome.
We have gym membership.
Oh yeah,
for
two
Gold's Gym.
month-long
Okay, so
gym
are we
memberships.
now are we purchasing tickets to be part of the silent auction, or are we bidding on the item? You know, there's 2 different ways to do a silent auction.
right.
So how are you guys doing it?
It is going to be you purchase tickets and then you decide which item.
You put your tickets in the bucket or whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can spread out your tickets, or you can put them all in one
And
if
how
you
much
really
are
want
tickets?
something. So it depends. We actually have the items split off into 3 categories.
Okay.
We have $1 tickets, $5 tickets for the higher end items, and $10 tickets for the computer, because it is amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So now, all this money is completely going to do what?
100% of the
I love that.
profits.
100%
100% of the
Everything.
profits is going to Camp Endeavor.
And what is Camp Endeavor?
It is a camp for children who are deaf or hard of hearing and their family members. Also CODA, which are children of deaf adults.
Okay.
They get to go to camp for 2 weeks. The cost for them is $200, so we're trying to alleviate that cost for them.
Right.
So,
And where do they go to camp, and what is the purpose of going to camp?
the purpose of going to camp is when you live in a world that's silent, you have very little opportunity to have interaction with other people.
To have a normal day.
To have
Right.
a normal day, to have fun. Nobody knows your language. You're kind of stuck. So this gives them the opportunity to go and be around 90 other children who talk their language, who speak their language, who they can have fun with and laugh with and play with and go horseback riding. And
Oh, how wonderful,
and
huh?
It's
So one of the statistics that we've learned in our classes is that 90% of parents and families that have deaf children do not sign at home.
Really?
Really, it's
Now, why does it happen? I mean, like, I'm not being mean or anything, but you give birth to a child and then they can't communicate. So why don't they learn?
Yeah.
We don't
Is it
know.
because there's
Well,
just not opportunities, or the
No.
fear factor or pride factor?
I think a lot of it is fear, and I think a lot of it is the misconception that oralism is the best way to go, speaking out loud is the best way to go, you know, if they want to fit into the hearing society, because they really are a cultural minority.
Right.
This really is a hearing world that they have to try and fit into sometimes, which is unfortunate.
But like, if you're married, you know your husbands don't hear. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
something we should learn, huh?
right. Actually, one of our professors is deaf and his wife is hearing. So
And has it always been that way?
Yes, and their children are hearing. So they're lucky because they get both worlds. They get the hearing world and
they're
the
bilingual
deaf
at home, which is
Right.
great.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
So the great thing about this camp is that it gives the children an opportunity, you know, to have full access to language. A lot of them nowadays are mainstreamed in schools, which means that they just go to regular school. Sometimes they have special classes for deaf children, but a lot of times, you know.
So then how do they learn? I'm not being weird when I
They
ask
may
that
have
question.
an interpreter,
Okay.
but a lot of times things go so fast, they still miss so much. So
Right.
it's a really hard situation.
So now where is this camp at?
It is in Dundee, Florida.
Where in the heck is Dundee, Florida?
It's
I've never even heard of
I've
Dundee,
never been
Florida. Are you going?
It's by I'm looking at the map, it's by Gainesville.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and they have...
It's a 32-acre, beautiful, huge piece of land that this
So
camp
you
is
want to
located
sponsor
on.
90 children to go.
We're hoping they take 90 children.
Yeah.
We want to sponsor as many as we possibly
Right.
can.
That's the ideal. We want to help out as much as possible.
So now if the children are going, but you said the families go with them?
Well, they're all children, so they take 90 children.
Okay.
So some of those children are deaf, some are hard of hearing, some are CODA.
What does CODA mean?
A child of a deaf adult.
Okay.
So their parents may be deaf and they're hearing, but they're still in both worlds.
Right, because they don't know how to communicate with their parents.
Right. So they end up learning because, like we just said, babies learn at
Right, but
2
still
months
there's
old.
probably a few language barriers still as they're growing up.
Absolutely. So it's for children in all the realms of hearing loss.
Okay, so you need 90 kids sponsored.
I need 90 kids sponsored.
So
That's
let's
our
just
ideal.
say I can't make it on Saturday, but I can sponsor a kid. How would we get a hold of you?
There are several ways. You could actually go to the website and to their website, which is Camp Endeavor. It's Sertoma. Okay, so I just learned that was an acronym.
Yeah, it stands for Service to Mankind.
Oh, okay, I like
Sertoma.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
like that. You could go to their website then.
You could go to their website and you can donate directly to them.
Okay,
I believe they also have a GoFundMe account.
okay.
Right. Or at the event on Saturday, we are taking cash donations.
So where's this event at?
The event is at the News Journal Center at 4 o'clock
Okay.
on Beach Street, starting at 4 o'clock on Saturday, July 6th.
Do we need reservations or tickets or anything, or we could just come on over?
Just come on over.
We do have a website set up on eventbrite.com. You can register if you want, but it's not needed. You can just show up.
Now, is this your first one you've ever done, or this is your first
This
one?
is our
Event
first one.
of this kind, yes.
Yes.
Okay. What other? Have you did other events?
We do.
We
yeah.
regularly host deaf events for our students and for members of the deaf community. We'll do like coffee socials, silent dinners, things like that. But this is the first time we've tried to raise money for a charity.
Now, what made you decide to do this? Because of this camp, or is it just something
Yeah,
that
so-
got in your heart and you just said, I'm
Yeah.
busting out?
I think we were both unaware of this camp until we learned that one of our former ASL professors actually went to this camp as a kid.
Okay.
And so he shared something on our club's Facebook page about it, about how they were looking for donations and just a little bit about what the camp does and why it's so important. And I think it tugged at both of our heartstrings, and we just knew that we had to help.
It was supposed to happen.
No, it's really cool because, see, I've never heard of it. And I was so excited when
Right.
Jeff was telling me about it the other day. I'm like, okay, I'll interview him,
Yeah.
get him on in here because
Right.
it is a missing piece.
Right.
People don't know.
Right.
And so if you can't help somebody if you don't know, so we got to share the word about it.
Absolutely.
So do you personally know any deaf people or deaf kids?
Well, we know our
Yeah.
our professors
Right,
are
but
deaf,
I mean outside of school, have you came across somebody now?
we've met them since I think I've only met. I mean, obviously in the homeless community, I know a lot. But outside of that, I hadn't ever met anyone who was deaf until I met people now, because we've gone to so many deaf events.
Right.
Now we know
I
a
think-
lot of deaf people.
I think that's my favorite part of being associated with the ASL Club is the opportunity to really get involved within the deaf community. So we've met a lot of people since we started out.
It is really cool that you guys do this. I'm just so cool. I'm so
we love
honored
it.
that there's somebody that does it, and you didn't have a reason to do it. You just decided, let's do this.
I'm telling you, if you take an ASL class, you will fall in love.
Yeah.
It just
changes
happens.
your life.
So you said you're in the homeless community now. Now that you know how to do some signing, do you see that they need help also getting into classes or getting training, or do they already know? You know what I'm saying? How did that kind of help you, or didn't, or hindered you, or whatever?
Because of their upbringing, and things are changing so much in the ASL community, but a lot of them were brought up with signing exact English.
Okay.
So I've even met people who said, I would tell them in sign language that I'm an ASL student, and they like stop me and they're like, no, I'm SEE, which is signing exact English. And so basically they just don't use the same grammar and the same syntax, so you just change things up a little bit for them. But most deaf people will sign.
Okay.
I mean, that's capital D, deaf, and so you can communicate with them pretty easily once you know any sign language. The signs are the same, just the syntax and the grammar changes a little bit.
Now, this is a really dumb question, but I know somebody out there's thinking it, and I love to ask the dumb questions. How do you realize that somebody needs help signing? Do you follow what I'm saying? If you're out and about in the community, and how do you recognize that you need to help somebody by signing something to them? Do you follow my question?
Do you mean like interpret for them to a hearing person?
You're somewhere, and all of a sudden, how does that your like little light bulb go off and say that person is deaf? How can I help them? Do you follow what I'm saying? Because you'll be in a group, like I was at Bike Week,
right?
And all of a sudden, this man was nobody was understanding, and I could see, oh my goodness, he doesn't hear any of us.
Right.
So how can somebody like me be out in public and recognize how can I help somebody else?
Learn sign language.
Well, and okay, but right now I have a crutch, so I'm out in the public and I see this happen. What can I do?
So,
do you understand my question?
Usually problems arise when there isn't understanding on both sides between
frustration
the deaf
between
person
both
and
people.
the hearing person.
Right.
So usually if a hearing person doesn't know any sign language, the deaf person will try to get their message across by gesturing or writing something out, typing something out on their phone.
That's what I wanted you to say. Because that's what I wanted you to come up with. That sometimes you'll get they'll write something, or like you said, put it on their phone.
Right.
At that point, should the person, because it's a stressful situation for everybody, should you continue to write on the phone? Should you try to mouth it to them? What is the best?
No, don't mouth it to them. don't ever mouth it to them.
See, and that's another thing I wanted you to explain.
Piece of paper, pen,
writing
writing
back
on their
and forth
phone.
is good.
Just know that their syntax and their grammar is going to be different. So they won't.
And what do you mean by that?
They won't say, would you like to go to the store? It would be store we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's broken English.
It's not.
No.
It's
shortened.
Quick history lesson.
Right.
We actually got ASL in the United States from France.
Okay.
And so the syntax of American Sign Language is actually probably more closely related to French than English.
Okay.
And so syntax means word order. So the order of their words might be a little different when they're translating ASL to English.
Okay.
Because it's a whole translating process because
so
they really are different languages.
The shorter the item you're writing, the better to help them.
They just don't use words like a lot of languages, foreign languages. English is one of the only languages that we use words like to, the, if, when, or not when so much, but all the adjectives that we put into our language. Other languages have no need for them.
Right.
So they're just not necessary.
Right. We just clutter it all up.
Right.
Just say what you want and get it done.
Right. Keep it simple.
Okay. So invite us out again this Saturday. Tell us how our afternoon is going to go, and to bring cash checks, what do we need to bring?
I would say bring cash. Please bring
Preferably.
cash. Preferably.
Cash for the concessions and for the drawing.
And what do you have at the concession stand? Have you figured that out yet? Because everybody likes to know about food.
Right. So we do have more snacky items like cookies, candy, popcorn, chips, soda, water, nachos, things like that, because after this amazing event, we actually also have a silent dinner.
At the same place?
No, we're going to Stavros right down the street.
Okay.
It's right there on
Can people
Beach
go
Street.
with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
invite you to come with us.
That is an open event as well.
That's an open event, and it's called a silent dinner. However, if you don't know sign language, there are a ton of hearing people that will be there to assist you and help you and let you be a part of the deaf community. Silent dinners happen all the time around this community. So we host one a month in the club.
How cool is that?
Yep.
And what's your turnout?
It depends
on the month.
I was going to say, depends on what we're eating.
Depends on where it is and, what month it is. But usually it's a pretty good turnout.
Both hearing and non-hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's called a silent dinner because usually it's ASL students and they need to practice.
Okay.
So they're within the deaf community and the deaf community comes out and they're so gracious and they're so kind and they know they're there
to teach you.
To teach and to help and assist. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
I
amazing.
bet that's amazing for them because they're getting to see there's help out there.
Yeah.
And they're getting to talk.
Right. It's so sweet to see because it's like they really appreciate that students are trying to learn their language. It's amazing to break down those barriers. And you asked us earlier how you can learn, you know, if there are other ways to learn besides college classes. Honestly, the best way is really getting out in the community.
So come to your dinners.
Come to the deaf events. Absolutely, they're open.
So how do we find out where they are and when they are?
One of the best ways, we actually have a Facebook page. It's titled DSC ASL Club and Friends.
Okay, in English, what would be the to get started, what would I put in?
Well, DSC for Daytona State College.
Okay.
ASL for American Sign Language. Club.
Okay.
And friends.
Okay.
Because it's for the club and it's for our friends.
It's
for the community.
And do you have people that just show up that have nothing to do with school?
Yeah,
all the time.
Absolutely.
Really?
All the time.
And which do you have more, hearing or non-hearing show up?
Non-hearing.
I think it depends on the event. We usually do have more, sometimes we have more deaf people. Sometimes we have a lot of students show up, like during the middle of the school year.
What's the youngest you've had show up?
We have people bring their kids a lot.
Yeah, all the time. We just went to an event last week, and it was a silent event for 4 days. We were voice off, and I was in love with some of the children there. They were just so sweet. And one deaf little girl, did you get a chance to talk to her? She was amazing. She signed so fast. And I'm like,
see, that would be my thing too. I would be like, hold on, please.
And they're so happy. If all you have to do is say slow down, and it's a pretty easy sign. Just slow down.
Okay, I like that one. I'll be using that one.
And they
slow
will.
down.
They want you to learn. They want you to understand what they're saying. So never pretend like you understand and just go, yes. Because
that's rude.
It's
rude.
Is. It's rude in any situation.
Right, totally.
Right. So they're there. They are there for you because they want to help you learn. So telling them this, asking them to slow down, they're like, oh, and they're apologetic. I'm so sorry, of course. And it's fun and it's interesting and it's amazing and it's heartwarming and all the good adjectives you can put to it. It is.
So now you're out and about in the normal community, and how often does it just start coming out of you? I mean,
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
I was actually signing to somebody one time when I was talking to them, and my husband asked me, "Why aren't they signing back?" And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I was signing. They don't know sign language. It's
kind of like Italian. It's kind of like Italian, which for sign language.
Exactly.
You know how Italian do their hands.
Exactly.
So you're just going along doing it.
Especially if it was like a long day at school,
right.
and you were there all day, and your voice off. You're signing all day. So
when you say voice off, literally you use
no talking,
no words,
no
words. Mouthing,
signing only. But yeah, that a conference she was talking about, Silent Weekend, that we went to in Orlando recently. Coming home from that was interesting because that is 4 days of signing only, voice off. You're taking workshops to learn new things
from
about
8 a.m. to 11 p.m.
And
all day long you're in
what
class.
new things can you kind of learn?
All different classes that they have. They have a bunch of different interpreting. If you want to go into the interpreting field, this year they had medical interpreting classes. They had court interpreting.
Right.
They also have classes for beginners where you can just learn.
Huh?
Yeah.
So what do you plan on doing with this? I mean, you're in school.
I plan on just learning. I just love it.
And there's nothing wrong with just learning, is there?
People say, what are you going to do when you're done? Career-wise, I said, I've been a hairdresser my whole life. I'm still going to be a hairdresser. I'm going to be a hairdresser who knows ASL. And
that's great.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. I've had, deaf people ask me, will you do my hair? And now I know what they're saying. Yes. Yes, I'll do your hair. And like I said, with the homeless community, I've become so close with the deaf homeless people that I work with. And that's through Our Lady of Lourdes. And every third Saturday of the month, they show up, and they're so excited that they can actually communicate with me.
They have questions or things or maybe resources that they need, but they can't get those resources because nobody's there to sign it.
Right.
So you're an open door for them.
Right.
I'm sure they're like asking you questions and stuff. How
right.
can you
And
help?
they have an amazing interpreter that works there with them, but she's volunteering, so
right.
she's everywhere.
She's thin.
So yes, so having another person that they can communicate with is
well, thank you for doing that for them.
Oh, it's
and what do you
literally
plan on doing?
So right now I do actually tutor it. I help at the school and I tutor ASL. But for the future, I'm still figuring it out a little bit. I have about a year left until I graduate with my psychology degree. But I know at this point that I can't continue to live my life without doing something with the language and with, this amazing culture. So whether that's tying in sign language with psychology or social work or something related, that's what I'd like to do.
I think that's just so amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. So tell us again where we can come this Saturday, who we're helping, how we're helping, what kind of cash we need to bring.
So our event is at the News Journal Center on Beach Street in Daytona Beach, Florida. The event is this Saturday, July 6th, from 4 until 7 p.m. is the first event. It's free. Admission is free, but if you would like to either purchase concessions or participate in the drawing, please do bring cash. We are also accepting donations at that event, whether it be cash or check. I think either is fine.
It's no credit cards, right? Just cash and check only?
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I don't think they have any ATMs there.
No, they don't. Okay. I don't think so. So, yeah, be prepared.
Well, I didn't know if you had an app on your phone that you were doing it that way. Nowadays everybody...
yeah.
We're not that advanced.
If you can do sign language, honey, we can hook you up with an app. Okay, and it's $200 per child to send them, right?
Right. And because it's a nonprofit camp, one of their statistics says that it's a 90% reduced rate compared to other camps of
Right, so
$200.
Well, like when you told me $200, I was thinking, like,
That's
is that for the registration?
It's for the whole 2 weeks.
It's for the whole 2 weeks.
Can they
for
do
food
that?
and housing through donations. They rely on people to be generous and have big hearts and help.
So, and then the prices of the tickets are $1, $5, and $10, and you
for
can
the drawing. Yes.
Right, you can buy as many of those as you want, and
Yes.
those will all go towards the children.
All proceeds. Yep, absolutely. Everything
If
is going
you
to the camp.
had your desire of your heart, how many kids do you think are going to be blessed out of this?
I mean, 90. All 90 would be the best.
Well, I just didn't know if in your mind, because you've been out in the community and you've been talking about and stuff, I was just seeing how many response do you think you're going to be getting and stuff.
We did raise some money already.
Did you?
Yeah.
We've had people who were unable to attend, and they've given cash donations.
Okay.
And
How can we get it to you again?
you can either show up,
You
can contact us through the DSC ASL Club and Friends.
Okay.
Or you can go directly to the website of the camp, and they have a donate button.
Well, since I can't come Saturday, how about if I just give you a check and sponsor a kid?
I will kiss
That
you
would be amazing.
1,000 times.
But it's that easy,
That's it.
people. If
It
you're
is.
listening and you're thinking, hey, I can't be there because I already had something planned. But how about I just call these ladies up or go to that Facebook page and say, how can I help? You're accepting checks and cash today, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you'll help a child go, right?
Absolutely.
So now you only need 89.
That's right.
Hey, we got to get
Baby
everyone.
steps, baby steps.
Baby steps. So give us that website one more time. You don't have a phone number or nothing anybody can call?
I can
Yeah,
give you,
we can give.
Okay, let's give phone numbers also because we're all driving and we're going to forget initials and all
Absolutely.
that. So tell us
you
again.
You can text or call. You can call AJ or myself. My name is Diana. My phone number is 386-307-2578.
Okay.
Okay, and for AJ, it's 630-624-6446.
And then the Facebook page again?
Is DSC ASL Club and Friends.
And we do also have an email address.
Okay.
It is dscasl@yahoo.com.
Or just come out Saturday.
Or
Come out
that would be
Saturday.
the best
Come
way.
out Saturday.
Please,
because
we
we're
want to
gonna
meet
have
you.
so much fun. There's going to be interpreters there for the things that are signed. There's going to be, a mime. Really, you're
Like
just
when you
gonna
go
get
to
it.
one of the amusement parks
Right.
over in Orlando, and that guy is just such cheap entertainment watching him. I could just sit there for the whole time.
And this guy is so amazing. His name is JJ, the deaf mime, and if you want to Google him, he's so entertaining. He's so funny, and just it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah.
So you get the really good show for free, and then your heart gets to be just filled with the donations that you give us.
Now,
and-
if we can't make it to the event and we come on over to the pizza place, can we still donate there?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Now
and
that is a cash thing. You pay for your own dinner when you get there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're paying for your own dinner, and
But
that's
it's
right after
Stavros,
the
and
event.
it's delicious. Who doesn't love Stavros pizza?
Right. So but
right.
it's right after the event,
Right.
And you have
walking
to pay.
distance right down the street.
Okay, and you pay for your own dinner, but if you couldn't make it to the event, bring money.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Who knows? We may have drawings at Stavros too.
I think I should get like so many tickets for just sticking on this kid.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies, one last time, phone numbers, email, and web and Facebook page, please.
Okay, phone number for Diana is 386-307-2578.
Phone number for AJ is 630-624-6446.
And the Facebook?
Facebook is DSC ASL Club and Friends.
And the email?
The email is dscasl@yahoo.com.
Anything we forget, ladies?
I don't think
Just
so.
Come on out.
I can't.
Don't forget to come Saturday.
Come to the event. The camp really is so special. It's such an amazing opportunity for these kids, and we need it to continue.
No, I think that's really a great cause, and I don't see any reason why. You know, if you are blessed to have hearing, right there should be a reason to donate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we take it for granted, and it is a huge
We take
thing.
everything for granted.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But this is a great opportunity to help a little kid, you know, and get help. So I appreciate y'all so much for coming in. Is there anything I forgot?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay, remind him one more time about Saturday, where we're coming to.
Coming to the News Journal Center on Beach Street in Daytona Beach at 4 o'clock to help hard of hearing and deaf children at Camp Endeavor.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you
you.
very much.
God bless you.
Thanks.
Remember